This video shows you how to do Lesson 9 in BibleWorks. Make sure that you've opened the PDF that's available on the portal because it has links that allow you to access the Dictionary of Biblical Imagery online. The resources for this lesson involve consulting NIDOTI, which is the New International Dictionary of the Old Testament Theology and Exegesis, as well as accessing the Dictionary of Biblical Imagery. The point of the first set of lessons is to draw conclusions as to why an author chose one word and not another. In task 1, you're to create a word processing document. Go to Jonah 2:11 in the WTM. Set the search limits to the entire Old Testament. Answer, what is the Hebrew word translated vomited? So, changing my search version to the WTM, changing a tab so I get a clear list, typing L, enter to get rid of limits, making sure that vowel point sensitive searching is on. Now it's on. Going to Jonah 2:11, that's Jon 2:11, and finding the word translated vomited. It's the verb ki, as I see from the pop-up. So if I click on the analysis window, again, place my cursor over ki, hold the shift key, I can copy and paste this out of BibleWorks into a Word document and make it number 1. And there is my answer to number 1. Bring me back to my PDF. What is the pattern of this verb? Pattern is stem. And so I look over here at key, and it says the pop-up has Hefil in red, and the analysis window has Hefil, so that is the stem. Hefil. I highlighted that and hit Control Spacebar to return it to the default text. Copy the command center. Find every occurrence of this verb in this pattern in the Hebrew Bible, which means I'm looking for key in the Hefil stem. So in the WTM I type period, Q, Y, A to get Kof Yod Aleph, hit the N key, Shift 2 for the @ sign, V for verb, H for Hefil. Note that I get a helpful hint that says the Hebrew verb aspect has no question mark character. If aspect is indeterminate, the wildcard is usually asterisk, not question mark. You can press escape. Okay, so I'm going to put an asterisk in. That's all I want. Hit the enter key, and I get 7 hits, 7 verses. I'm going to right click on this to copy the verse list with no text. Probably better check to see what my options are. Verse list for no text. I don't want a new line. I do want consecutive versions merged. And I want a space after the comma. So I say OK. Right click here, choose copy verse list, no text, go to my Word document, Control V, and I get my verse list. Come back to my lesson. Read the article in NIDOTI. See Go course for a PDF copy. Okay, actually that was designed for Go course students, but a copy of the article will be on the portal as well. Then it says the article is not very helpful. Okay. What kind of picture comes to your mind when you hear the word vomit? Read the article, vomit in DBI. Well, if you click on the link there, it should open. Oops, didn't want to click help, wanted to click allow. Should open the Dictionary of Biblical Imagery online, and you can read the article here on vomit. Once you've read that, you come back to the PDF. Why do you think the author chose the word vomit instead of some other word for getting Jonah back on dry land? Well, oops, I missed. That's number 4. What kind of picture comes to mind? Of me heaving in the restroom. Not a very pretty picture. I will give my evaluation of authorial reason for choice of word in class. Okay, coming back to this, we've done this. Now we come to English translations. He discusses them. You should read that discussion. Practice 2. Find all occurrences of great in the book of Jonah using the New American Standard and copy it to the task. All right. So this is task 2. We start a new list. Go to Bible Works. Type in NAU. That's my search version. Limit it to Jonah, L space Jon. Type in the word great. And that's how many times it occurs. 9 hits. 8 verses. Copy verse list, no text. Drop that in. That's a problem right there, that F. I want to know the exact number of verses, so I'm going to Control Z and undo that. Come back to BibleWorks, right click, choose Copy Format Options for verse list with no text, and set this number to something like 14, which will then not allow it to use that abbreviation. Say OK, right click, copy verse list, no text. There we got all of the verses. Number 2, find all the occurrences of great in the book of Jonah using the New King James. All right, NKJ, great. That's a different list. And we'll paste those in. Probably ought to note the number of hits. This was 9 hits. Here we get 7 hits. New King James. This was the NASB. Number 3's asking me to find it in the NIV. Okay, so set the search version to the NIV. Type great. Hit enter. 6 hits. Keeps getting less and less. Okay, that's verse 6 hits in NIV. Number 4, New Living Translation. Okay, NLT, great. 6 hits again, no difference there, although it looks like maybe the verses are actually somewhat different. Yes, it looks like they are. 6 hits in New Living Translation. Number 5, what is the Hebrew word translated great by the New American Standard in Jonah 1:2? Okay, so go to Jonah 1:2. The Hebrew word translated great is gadol. Come over here, copy that, Control C, Control V, Shift, Control spacebar. There we go. And number 6, find all occurrences of this Hebrew adjective regardless of gender or number in the book of Jonah and copy the command center verse list to task 2. Okay, well, all that means is they want me to find all instances of gadol. Right click, choose search on lemma. That will search all instances regardless of gender or number, and I get 14 hits. Right click, copy verse list. Okay, to number 6. This was 14 hits in WTM. Number 7, using the NAU, NIV, and NLT list the English translations in order from greatest to least in terms of their correlation between the Hebrew occurrences of the word translated great and the English word great. Alright, that didn't make sense to me. Read it again. List the English translations in order from greatest to least. Oh, in other words, which translation translates great, translates gadol in Hebrew most frequently as great in English? Well, okay. What I'm going to have to do then is come over here and I'm going to get rid of the BGT and get rid of this. They wanted me to do the New American NIV and the NLT, and I can get rid of the stuff that, and I'm just going to go down and say let me just make some notes here. I'm going to copy this verse list over to my editor window like this. Say OK, right click, copy verse list, Control V in my, oops, not the notes, the editor window. And NASB has great, NLT has great, so we've got NASB, NIV, NLT all here. Jonah 1:4, great and great, great but no great. So we've got NASB 2 times, NIV only 1 time, and NLT 0 times. Jonah 1:10, and I will do this for the rest of these, and then would count up the number of NASBs, count up the number of NIVs, and count up the number of NLTs, and write my conclusions about NASB, NIV, and NLT here. Number 8, coming back. What is the Hebrew word translated great in the NLT of Jonah 1:16 and 2:2? Okay, so Jonah 1:16. Oops, Jonah 1:16. Let's see here. In NLT, we're